What's happening? Benton here. Wow, I just noticed something on StreamYard. It says share your referral link. Huh. Damn. Now they got me shilling StreamYard. Let's delete those comments. That's interesting. What are these streams? I noticed some folks unsubscribing. We're back down to 777 subscribers. Not sure that matters so much, but interesting. Got to thinking about that myself. Is that going to be on the screen all the time? Well, this StreamYard is just garbage, man. It's just terrible. Wow. What's happening? StreamYard now they just have this button on the screen that says share your referral link. Well, what if I don't want to? There's no way to make it go away. Hot garbage. Anyway, yeah, I got to thinking. I've just finished my day here, uh, somewhat early. What time is it? 2:30 Central. I guess I finished up about almost an hour ago. And I'll tell you what these videos are. It's like long. What are these streams? These live streams? Well, it seems like early in the morning when I'm driving the truck, it's long-winded rants on spirituality, the nature of the realm, me complaining about the traffic, which is not the traffic itself; it's the way people choose to drive. Uh, I feel pretty good about the lesson this morning uh, about spirituality. Uh, Not very much Jesus talk. There's a little bit, not too much. Some specifics, though. There's definitely some talk about the Christ consciousness, whatever that may be. If anybody's into that. What's up, Rick? Good to see you, sir. Yeah, we'll do a little crowd work, and I'm not ready for bedtime yet, so just had my egg drink. And I'll tell you what the live streams are. It's mostly vlogs, right, or audio blogs when I'm driving, and it's just my vibrating icon. Or I guess this is a vlog, right? A vlog, and delivered, drove, I don't know, 250, 300 miles this morning, delivered, drop and hooked in Ohio? No, Alabama. Alabama. Then they told me to head for Memphis and they would let me know en route what to do. And apparently the company has a new customer. What's up, Rachel? Good to see you. Apparently the company has a new customer and they sent me there. Uh, I don't even remember when, several days ago, a week ago, and the place's power had been out since the day before. And then I came to the truck stop, the same one I'm at now. They had me wait around all day. And then at the last minute, in a rainstorm, a torrential downpour in rush hour traffic, they sent me an hour across town and then argued with me about how long it was going to take. Try to tell me it was 30 minutes. So it's an hour, buddy. Took an hour. Then sat around for an hour because I did not have the right pickup number. Then they wanted to have me just try various pickup numbers to no effect. And then eventually they said, hey, just go see if there's a load for our company going to Houston. I already know that the shippers and receivers don't play that game. You got to have a damn pickup number. So I said, hey, man, just tell me to fuck off here. But the company wants me to come in here and ask if y'all got any loads for this company going to Houston. And he was a younger fella in his 20s and he was all apologetic. I'm like, don't even worry about it. I'm asking too much here, but just doing my due diligence. So they sent me back to that same customer. So when they sent me the information, they said drop your empty trailer and pick up a preloaded trailer. Right. So I'm already suspicious. I said, is the load ready? Oh, it should be. We had a driver pick up there yesterday. Probably lies, by the way. Probably just what they say, right? Probably just complete lies. And so I get there and it's a madhouse. It's a total madhouse. But first, as I'm walking up, you got to park on the road and like walk up to the guard shack. As I'm walking up, it's just a bunch of people, bunch of truckers parked at the dock doors. Nothing's moving, tumbleweeds going across the lot. And as soon as I'm about to walk up to the guard shack, then a trucker pulls out. It looks like he's just going to run me right over. So I head for these trailers. I'm like, well, shit, he might run me over. Surely he won't crash into these trailers. And then he almost beats me to the guard shack, and I can tell he's about to jump out of his truck. Meanwhile, the nice black lady guard, younger lady, she's wanting to talk to me, but are you picking up or what's going on here? And I can tell this guy's in a big fat hurry. I'm not going to stand there with him breathing down my neck. And I'm like, hey, just go ahead and take care of him if you would. So all I find out after waiting is I just got to go to the fucking shipper office anyway, which is fine. I've never been there. If this is our regular customer, I'll be coming back. I might as well get the lay of the land. All right. Might as well get the lay of the land. And it's not always a headache, Rick, but because it says share your referral link, I can't even read your fucking comment. I can't believe I paid money for StreamYard. This is bullshit. Oh, man. I'm thinking maybe when I get a new phone, just buy 2 phone services, and I'll just stream from the YouTube app on my one of my 2 phone services, because this is garbage. For what they're charging me per month, I could just get my own second phone service and stream with the YouTube app. What's up, Layla? Long time no see. Hope you're well. And just vlogging here. I've been doing spiritual type stuff in the mornings. I thought I did pretty good this morning. If anybody wants to go back and listen to the replay, there's some nuggets in there, dare I say. But figured I might as well announce to the YouTube here the few, the proud, the listeners to me, the listeners of me, and all my foolishness. Might as well say what's up, which is it's vlogs if I'm on camera, and then if it's vibrating icon and I'm driving, it's just rants and raves and the occasional perhaps deep thought on spirituality. Yeah, check it out if you would. Yeah, maybe fast forward a bit. It takes me a little while to get going, but I think I get into it fairly quickly, if you have time, of course. I know everybody's busy these days. So back to the truck driving story. And it's funny how often I go into a public area and then it goes from zero to complete madhouse. And I know it's not because I'm there, but it's like it's a video game and I've unlocked the fucking level or something. And now it's just complete pandemonium, traffic jams. So eventually I get away from that. I go to the shipper office. Now I'm waiting in line. That's fine. Whatever. We're truck drivers. We know how to wait. Trailer was supposed to be preloaded. Trailer not preloaded. Product ready. Sir, we can give you a dock door and live load. I said, well, that's fine. I don't mind live loading, but I understand it's ridiculously early in the day, but I'm done. My shift is over. Yes, it's 1:16 p.m. Central Time. I understand, but I done drove 600 miles and delivered a load, and now I'm here. So, but happy, not highfalutin. I understand I'm here on a supposed to be a dropping hook. I'll live load, but not right now. When can I come back? Because this place 24 hours. Okay, sir, you can come back 7 a.m. And in fact, if you get here first thing, we'll probably just give you a door right away. Meanwhile, if it had been if they'd had a lot of space to back in, and if I could tell it wasn't just jammed to the wall, balls to the wall, I would have went ahead and live loaded. But when I was leaving, this poor fella was trying to back up to the dock. Man, what he was going through to try to get back in, it was so busy. Nope. Yeah, that's right. Shift endings. That's right. Well, but I have a thing, Razvan, where I've spoiled myself, where I don't like to try to do all this last minute bullshit, unforeseen bullshit, because there's a reason why I asked the dispatcher, is the load ready? Because if he was like, okay, I check with the customer, it's actually not going to be ready till tomorrow, I'd assume that's all right. What time can I roll in there? I'm gonna pull up before Memphis, I'm gonna stop at this here Love's that's got a Walmart across the street, and I'm gonna drop my trailer and I'm gonna drive across the road in my bobtail, and I'm gonna get my groceries, and I'm gonna leisurely do my shopping instead of having to pull in there and haul fucking ass on a 30-minute break trying to get my shopping done. But again, these people that work in offices, they can't never relate to the truck driving working man because they live in an apartment or a house and they got a fridge and they got food in the cupboard, and you know they can either order it on the app and pick it up, or their honey bunny can do it potentially, right? Or whatever version of shopping they do. Like, motherfucker, I live in a truck, and when there's going to be downtime, I might want to go take care of me. Now, here's where I'm not selfish enough, y'all. But part of it was I wanted to get parked early. So I just went ahead and hauled ass to Memphis because I knew there was a chance it was preloaded. And if it's preloaded, it's going to take me a little while. I'm not familiar with this shipper. And I'm going to get hooked up to my load, and then I'm going to come right here to this truck stop where I am, and I'm going to shut down. I'm going to leave early in the morning. Everything's going to be lovely. But I almost stopped at that Love's en route to drop my trailer to go over to Walmart. But that was going to cost me about 45 minutes to an hour. And then pushing my arrival at the truck stop until later. And so now we're looking at paying $20, $22 for a spot. That's okay. I don't mind paying $22, but why do all that when I can go pick my load up, get to the truck stop potentially, and save $22? Right. That's what I was thinking. But I think in the future, I'm going to take care of myself first. I'm just going to go ahead and say, I don't entirely trust this dispatcher because clearly they're just guessing or blowing smoke up my ass and just hoping the shit will be ready when I get there. Just meanwhile, they don't suffer. Now, I still chose like a big boy to go ahead and get there as quickly as possible for my own reasons. But see, now I'm parked at a truck stop in a high crime area, and I can't risk dropping the trailer and going 5 miles down the road to Walmart. One of my favorite Walmarts, by the way, West Memphis Supercenter. It's lovely, lovely folks in there. It's a bit of a food desert. Food desert is an area they still have a Walmart, so it's like, how is it a food desert? There's the country's largest grocer is there. I'll tell you how it's a food desert, because they don't have the healthy options or the less unhealthy option. What's up, Christos? And I can tell I'm already getting a little tired, so let me yurt the stream early. And I may not be around too long, but we'll see what we can do. I might as well tucker myself out before bedtime. Shout out to 12 in the house. I like 12 in the house. I got a little spoiled with that 30. 26 people. That's too many. 33 people. See, this is a cope. I'm coping. But oh, he's shopping. Razvan's out shopping. Sometimes he tells them straight up, I'm out shopping. My fridge is empty, pal. Yeah, I got to start doing that. I'm a little too accommodating to these people sometimes. A little too accommodating. Yeah, I think I like the other angle better. Let's do that. Yeah, why would they make it? Well, and that's the thing is, see, that's called doing a good job, Razvan. Why would they make it easy? See, if I was a dispatcher and my driver was like, is the load ready? I would say, I don't know. Let me check. Let me find out. Or he could have said, well, you know what? It might not be, but let me see if maybe a different load is ready. Right. Let me give you a few different PO numbers. Right. But they're not thinking about me. And, realistically, can I expect them? No, I can't expect them to think about a little old me. That's not the way the world works, is it? That is not the way the world works. And I think a lot of folks, this is just my opinion, are still living in a shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Where it's like, well, it should be this way, right? It could be this way, it would be this way, or it used to be this way. It don't matter if it used to be less bad. It don't matter if it used to be better. It don't matter. It is how it is now. It is how it is now. I'm going to live in reality now, right? So next time, now if it'd been a different time of day, if I was going to pass by later, the Love's with the Walmart across the street, and there was no way to avoid the Not that Memphis has bad traffic, but if there was no way to avoid, if it wasn't to my advantage to get in there early and to get parked early, then I still would have stopped. But I got enough eggs for 2 more days. I got enough water for 2 more days. Uh, I got apricots. I got I got black beans. I got sardines. We're living good over here. We're living good. Boy, I look at these truck drivers, man. This one guy, I saw him trying to climb in his truck, man. That freaking beached whale. It's all he could do to get up in that truck. I wanted to say, hey man, what are you gonna do when the day comes and you can't get in that truck? And he'll probably say, I'm gonna, I'm gonna sing hallelujah. I'm gonna cry out hallelujah. No more truck driving. Yeah, living the dream. Yeah, don't should all over yourself. We said, I like that in treatment. I didn't know we were in treatment. For Jessica, do you see? I should know this. This is how far I am up my own ass. You work at a treatment facility. Now I'm embarrassed that I don't know. I don't know. Head up my own ass, Jessica. Yeah, he's gonna diet then, right? He's gonna die then, Raz, man. He's not gonna diet then. But yeah, don't should all over yourself. That's right. So what I've found is most folks. I like that, by the way. I'm gonna remember that. Hopefully, it's my goal to remember that. So I think when I relay these stories, a lot of people are like, well, back in my day, and it ought not be that. This is how it is, man. And I think a lot of folks are just in denial that this is how things are, man. And it seems to me like ever since the fake pandemic, less and less do people feel the need to pretend to give a fuck, right? Oh, okay, cool. Damn, really? See, that's fascinating. I'd like to learn more about that. Jessica works in treatment. All women 90-day residential. See, now I'm starting to think maybe I did know this, but now I'm going to use an excuse. I was drunk, Jessica. I think that would, if I found this out, maybe that was back during the daily drinking. Not that that's an excuse for forgetting, but it does sound familiar, actually. Oh, classes. Life coach. All right. Coach Jessica. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Well, wait a minute. I didn't mean that. I'm not. Well, anyway. I probably didn't mean it how it may have come across. But either way. Either way. Oh, man. Open mouth, insert foot. Yeah, man, I want to hear some of them stories. But it's like, is it confidential? Like, not attorney-client privilege, but yeah, it's probably confidential, but you know, names have been changed to protect the well, they're not innocent necessarily, but yeah, shout out to Talcott. Yeah. Oh man. What, because I mentioned delusion? Yeah, shout out to the ladies, by the way. At least three ladies here if Rachel's still around. I always know I'm doing something right when the ladies show up. Sometimes there's nary a lady, and I'm like, what in the world? What's wrong with me? I must be on the wrong track here. Oh, geez, Louise. Well, appreciate everybody. I'm not leaving yet, but I appreciate everybody being here. Uh, and I went ahead and told them when I sent them the message. I didn't even let them know from the customer. I just immediately went to the truck stop because I knew if I said, hey, I'm here, they want a live load, they're going to try to, number one, they're going to try to talk me into live loading. And what if I'm there 4 hours? And then now it's, thankfully they have plenty of $22 parking, but even still, man, what if there's a line? What if there's a backup trying to get in this truck stop? What if I sit out on the road for 20 minutes? You know, what about me? What about my quality of life? So I messaged him. I had my eggs. See, now I'm being spiteful. I'm like, oh, I'm not even angry though. I'm peaceful. That's what this morning's live stream was about. Peace. It was about peace. That was the theme. And I'm at peace with all of this. But I said I'm peacefully gonna make my eggs, and then I'm gonna let them know. And I said, I'm shut down for the day at the truck stop. Meaning, don't even try to talk me into some bullshit. Lord knows if I would have told them when I was there, they would have wanted me to check on this load, try this number, run this up the flagpole, and see if the black ladies salute. Sir, this is Memphis. No, they're not going to salute whatever this bullshit you want me to run up the flagpole. I know you don't, Jessica, but thank you for clarifying. Jessica does not see herself as life. I knew you were joking. Oh, Talcott, that was the see, I'm dense. Uh, rest in peace, Davy Crocco. I used to tell Crocco, I used to say, thank God for Davy Crocco. Otherwise, I would be the most dense person in this so-called truth community. But Crocco's gone. It's now me, the greatest density at the level of my own, the thickness of my own skull. So, but I'll get there eventually. Yes, I figured it out finally. Thank you. A bit dense. What's up, crime in America? That's I like your name. I've probably said that before. Hello, welcome. If I've seen that name, it sounds familiar. Crime in America, indeed. Have you ever seen the 1970s era documentary, The Killing of America? If not, I suspect it's right up your alley. It's a graphic, parental guidance suggested, extreme graphic violence warning, gore warning. I'm surprised it's on YouTube, to be honest with you. But yes, The Killing of America, perhaps right up your alley. It's all about crime in the 70s. Because when people comment on and just assume that crime has never been worse, I don't know, man. The shit was popping off in the 70s. That's all I can say. The shit was popping off in the 90s, early 90s. But yeah. Anyway, I won't even get into that. It's one of my favorite documentaries. Uh, But yeah, I sort of wanted to set the frame going forward if people continue to watch the channel. Because again, we experienced a miniature exodus of subscribers. Then I managed something happens and a few more people show up. So we go up to like 783. We go to 777. Hell, I think we might be down to 7. I don't even know what it is now. So I said, you know what? I probably ought to tell these people what's up. So it's evening vlogs, perhaps, with in the morning time if I'm feeling funky. If I'm feeling froggy, we'll hit you with the spiritual insights, right? Uh-oh. Yes, that's right, Layla. One of her favorite human hacks is if someone says they are a life coach, that's all you need to know. They're crazy. Yeah, they're crazy. And yeah, I would never. And again, Jessica did not. She jokingly, we know she's not a life coach. But yeah, Talcott, and then I would never refer to myself as it's like what, life coach. And yeah, there's actually people who are good at it. I'm sure there's this. Y'all ever watch this Mike Andes on YouTube? This he started that Augusta lawn care, the little midget, the little person in the yellow shirt, in the yellow polo shirt. That guy, and I get a kick out of him. I guess he's still in his 20s, and I watch a lot of his content. And he does some coaching. So there's people who are actually, but he doesn't refer to himself as a life coach. And it's funny, man, because he does business coaching and he helps people turn their businesses around. He'll just show up on site and he'll spend like half a day or a day with the owner and the key staff and all this. And then he makes a YouTube video out of it. Probably, gives them a discount for participating in the content. But man, on some of them, this most recent one I listened to, which it could be old, I don't know. My eyesight, I can't quite see how old the fucking video is. Trying to, it's now you're the fucking phone. Now I'm driving and I'm doing like this, trying to hit the fucking the correct angle through the bifocals. Looking like looking like Edmund Kemper. A normal size Ed Kemper, right? Crazy, man. What even is this? Farcical, right? Farcical and complete farce. So I don't exactly know when the video was made, but sometimes really they're just paying the $500 or and the travel or whatever the fuck it costs for a garden gnome looking Mike Andes, who I'm guessing maybe he doesn't show up in y'all's feeds. Who knows? Maybe that's good, but he's entertaining. And I just like business. I know a lot about business, even though I don't, I haven't really I ran a micro business at a certain point, but I'm not trying to become a businessman, but sometimes they just want life coaching. This most recent one, the guy, he just kept talking about his personal problems. And I thought, man, just let's send him to Talcott. He'll be divorced, and his family won't talk to him within a 6 months, right? Because you could tell his just by the way this young, and he was in his 20s. You could tell by the way he was talking that he knows he just needs to go get a job, and his wifey poo is had enough. You can tell she's long suffering. These high school sweethearts, good God fearing MAGA types, right? But Gen Z, you know, and in his heart, you can tell this guy he wants to surrender. And also this morning's live stream is about surrender. By the way, there's a lot about surrender as a valid tactic, and it's spiritual surrender, right? For specific purposes. And well, I'm bleary eyed. 600 miles, man. That's enough for me. What did I drive today? 621, drove 631 yesterday. Not too shabby. I gotta show these people what I'm made of before I start making my demands. I gotta let them know what they hired. Thank you, Jessica. Well, anyway, you already know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's the peace, see? It's the peace, Jessica. But thank you. Yes, the lighter side. A bit too weighty, a bit too unwieldy at times, perhaps. I don't feel like perhaps I've been delivered of that, whatever that burden has been. The just the general heaviness of existentialism. I don't know, whatever we're calling it this week. The general heaviness, but yeah. And so it's hilarious to me watching Mike Andes because he's very patient, and the little fella in the I shouldn't make fun of his height. He's one of those go-getter 5'4" fellas. It's great. And Lord knows there's plenty of fellas way taller than me. So hell, women. There's women all over the place taller than me now. It's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. Uh, Everywhere I go, it seems like some ladies way taller than me. Broader shoulders. A broader shouldered broad. Anyway, broad shouldered broads. I thought broad meant they were wide in the hips. I thought broad meant childbearing hips, not their shoulders. What is this? Must be something in the water. Anyway. But and so Mike Andes is very patiently just waiting to kind of steer it back to how can I help, and then like and he's basically told this guy like I want to see some action, because this fellow was saying that he went to do this big job and he gave away a bunch of his clients, and like his partner left, and all of this stuff, and probably they didn't want to deal with this fella anymore, and the guy had a rough season last season, doing the maintenance contracts, mowing the lawns and such. And he said, yeah, now he's doing seeding, whatever this is. I guess he's got a big truck he drives around scattering seed everywhere. Maybe this is a metaphor for something. I don't know. But, he talked about he had all these mechanical problems with the truck, and he just went and sat in his pickup truck, and every piece of equipment he touched just wouldn't work. And he went and whined to mommy, went to his truck and whined to mommy, and was like, maybe I should just go get a job. Right. Which is okay. Look, it's okay to whine to mommy. That's fine. But not when he's supposed to be the provider. Later on, he lets it slip that he's like, yeah, he said, I'm not even sure my wife sees me as the provider anymore. I'm like, buddy, you're headed straight for divorce. High school sweetheart only goes so far, partner. And this woman's probably on Facebook and social media. Her peer group, I promise you, has been talking for years about better dealing yo ass. And I'm not saying they'd be wrong. Look, I'm not, yeah, sure, commitment, and I'm not trying to break nobody's marriage up here, but goodness gracious, it's probably only the Christianity keeping them together at this point, right? I would imagine. Oh, he's deadly serious. Talcott. Oh, he's fully delusional. Oh yeah. See, I spotted this. Well, and let me not brag about me. It's not about me. See how quickly I tried to turn it into something about me. Yeah, Jessica says we're talking about Talcott now. I know I'm talking about 8 different topics simultaneously. Jessica did not realize how serious Talcott is about saving the world. She thought that was kind of a joke that we were all laughing all along until it wasn't. See, that's and not to, at the risk of sounding critical, this is human nature, Jessica, is, because we or you are not that foolish to actually put on a cape and go out here and save the world, right? Who would be that delusional? What is my hair is just, look at this. What is this part doing? What is going on with that part? I don't even know. It's almost head shaving time. I hate to say. Yes, amen, Layla. But yeah, amen as well. So, the way I view all of this is it makes sense to sort of project onto somebody else, and this is common sense and the word of mouthing that I refer to sometimes. Yeah, it's common sense that it's not possible to save the world. Hey, you can't stop a fella from trying. And I finally figured out that live without fear, because I got to thinking about this. When I first encountered Talcott on the old In a Yurt with Books channel, his user text on the StreamYard said live without fear.com. And I'm just crazy enough to be like, well, fuck, let's go check out this website. And then I read about on his own website, Talcott claimed to be some version of a fully self-realized master. I'm paraphrasing, but he claimed credit for complete control of his thoughts and emotions. Meanwhile, I'm watching him triggered on In a Yurt with Books. And I even joined for the first time, what I believe was the first time on with Yurt to, I might have been on there before, though. I don't remember. I joined to, I had a go at Talcott famously, and it's still on my channel somewhere because I reviewed it. Even though the old In a Yurt with Books channel is long deleted, I reviewed the content at least 2 or 3 different times. I just don't remember which live stream, and I did too many live streams back in the day. But I even brought his own website up to himself. I brought his website up to him, and he started distancing himself from his own website. I called him on it. I said, now he's distancing himself from his own words. I said, what is this, partner? Put your name on it. This was like the second time I ever encountered Talcott. I knew what he was because I studied my father's psychology when I was still attempting to have a relationship with my father. Talcott and my father, Larry, have very similar psychology. So I knew him when I saw him. I said, I got you, Talcott. Got you, man. This is before he had grown into whatever he is now with all this acclaim and this large, somewhat, for the space, a large audience. And I guess he's somewhat making a living from this now, which, hey, more power to him. That's wonderful. I'm all for it. Blessings, brother. It's wonderful. Everybody needs money. Everybody needs money. And so I got to thinking about that living without fear, the idea of live without fear. So Jessica, if you're still here, I hope you are. So I'm going to ask this rhetorically. I don't expect an answer, but so if I was to say, here's a person whose goal is to the highest degree possible, live without fear, what would that enable the person to do in their own life, in their own sphere of influence, tapped into their power to the nth degree? What would to live without fear? Meanwhile, but not because of peace, right? Not because of an acceptance of things as they are and recognizing a limited power to change things outside of oneself. Not a peace that's come in because we've dealt with the turmoil in the internal turmoil, and now the waters have calmed internally and now peace has entered in. Not that, right? But to attempt to live without fear. Well, what's another term for living without fear? Maximum delusion. Because we can always see calamity on the horizon. We can always see danger approaching and put our motherfucking heads in the sand and delude ourselves and create a false reality and inhabit the false reality, and nobody can force us out of it. That's free will. So that motherfucker took the concept, live without fear, and he used it to epitomize the highest levels of delusion and denial that a human being can ever inhabit. He's the epitome of delusion and denial. That's right, Razvan nailed it. The epitome of delusion and denial. And since I'm not that smart, I'm really not. I really don't have the high IQ. I have a very pedestrian IQ, but I'm extremely intuitive. So, poof, out of nowhere came the intuitive idea. That's what this motherfucker means. This is what he practices when he lives without fear. He means live in maximum delusion. Maximum delusion. He's as far out there as you can get, Rebecca. I don't watch him. I've only caught bits and pieces here and there. I saw just enough to peg him. Get your minds out of the gutter. I saw just enough of him to have him pegged. Right. That's right. Recklessness, fearlessness. Yeah. It's not courageous, but claiming credit for courageous. Because what's more courageous than fooling oneself, right? So the delusional part is he believes if only the UN and the government would listen to him, they would bask in his glow, right? And I'm not even saying this isn't valid. He's clearly, and this is what Brother Austin's been talking about lately, as much as I can tell. This is Talcott's making it work for him. I'm not insulting the man at the level of his own effectiveness. I'm dissecting his psychology, right? I'm expertly dissecting the man's psychology from afar, right? I'm not saying any of this is invalid. It's not invalid. And look, we all inhabit various delusions from time to time, arguably. What up, Provo? Yes, delusion maxing. So, and good on him. He has alchemized some of this, arguably, right? Debatably. He's, you know, uh, making lemonade out of lemons to some extent. But his true nature always shines through, does it not? I've taken screenshots from when he would be on Paul Enslaved making these crazy faces. Like that one time, I can't remember the guy's name, but one of Paul's regulars back in the day, who was not a white person, was having to go at Talcott, and he was calling Talcott out as a racist. And I think Talcott might have been drunk, and Talcott was just making these horrible faces. And I zoomed in and took a bunch of screenshots. If I ever get back to my computer, if my computer's retrievable, I will find those screenshots. I have them on my computer. So his facial expressions show his internal space, right? He's very few Leo men can hide we just can't, we're an open fucking book. Yes, exactly. The psychology keeps Jessica curiously entertained, right? And you're drawn to Leos for some reason. I don't know why that is. Leo men. I'm guessing. Right? I'm guessing. Jessica. But anyway, how do y'all like my flamboyant hand gestures? It's like I'm directing. It's like I'm a fucking on the tarmac and then guiding the planes in for a landing. Goodness gracious. Anyway, OTW in the house. Yeah. Well, thanks. I kind of do. Well, not this part. We're disavowing whatever's going on over there. I think maybe it's the light though back there. I'm blaming the light. How's my hair? Yeah. For my age, I'm doing okay. Anyway, let's not talk about my hair, but thank you for noticing. Thank you for noticing. Anyway. Yeah, Talcott is, it's interesting, certainly. Um, but yeah, delusion maxing. And, it's important in my view, and this is some of what I talk about on the morning streams when I'm truck driving, when I actually manage to hit on something of value potentially, is that very few folks. Now, again, is it for everybody to go examine these basic concepts to the most, smallest degree possible. But I would say somebody like Jack Talcott, who's LARPing as a life coach, could get to know the fundamental basics of some of these concepts, like delusion, like living without fear, fear itself, all of these things. Now, the problem for Talcott is he's already crediting himself with the highest levels of spiritual attainment possible within himself, such that he wrote on his own website that he's reached a space where he has full control of his thoughts and emotions. The man wrote it on his own website, and I'm pretty sure I got those screenshots somewhere. So there's nothing to be done. There's no work to be done, right? Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Oh, really? That's interesting, Layla. Wow, I like that. And I love the astrology talk. Just, you know, um, I'm one of those type of. Well, and I never was into astrology. A lady got me into astrology. So fair. I came by it honestly, right? I didn't learn the astrology to try to meet women. I met a woman who was, well, two women actually at the same time. That's a whole nother story, but not at the same time, by the way. I met them simultaneously. Anyway, one of them I never knew, if you get my meaning. But let's be clear, right? Let's be clear. But I met two ladies simultaneously, and they got me into astrology, right? It's these creepy guys that they get into astrology to then try to meet women. No, that's the cart before the horse. But so that's interesting. The only thing I have in Leo, other than one of my houses, of course, is my sun. I have nothing else in Leo. Guess what? Don't guess, but I'll tell you. My chart is almost all Virgo. So Virgo rising, Mercury, and retrograde Venus in Virgo, with a Gemini midheaven. How about that? And a Libra moon. So lots of, because if those that may not know, uh, Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo. I think I'd have to double check, but going from memory, I believe that's the case. So let's say a Mercurian, not a Solarian. I'm a Mercurian, but the sun in Leo, it's a good thing. Anyway, that's right. Uh-oh, I'm back. Virgo, excellent. Well, and Jessica, in my experience, I've always gotten along, not in a relationship sense, never dated a Virgo lady that I'm aware of, but always get along with the Virgo ladies, especially on the job for whatever reason. Always seems to be a mutual admiration for whatever reason. Not sure why that is, but that could be my own Virgo showing through, though, right? Uh, and because StreamYard is out of its fucking mind, and now there's a button on the screen that says share your referral link, I can't actually read your comments. So let me squint. I'm a Virgo. That's all I know. I don't know about the house, the moon, and the sun. All okay. Yeah. What if you know what time you were born on your birth certificate, Jessica? I can tell you which websites to go to get your birth chart for free if you're into such a thing. Yeah, this is fun. That's right. I love astrology. It's a lot of fun. And again, my chart just tells me how awesome I am. So of course I love it. And then anything that's interpreted as negative, we just say, well, I've overcome that, of course. So, neither here nor there, right? Oh yeah, well, I've self-improved beyond that, right? But I think I know all my stuff if Layla's still listening. Let's see if I can go from memory. Sun in Leo, Libra moon, Gemini midheaven, Virgo rising, uh, uh, Mercury in Virgo, retrograde Venus in Virgo, um, Jupiter in Aries, Saturn in Taurus. Um, Jupiter in Aries is apparently can be fairly decent, depending on how it's aspected for a fellow, anyway. Um, I think that's all I can remember. And I have some favorable aspects. Yippee skippy yay for a bit. So why wouldn't I love astrology? Again, it tells me how wonderful I am. And all the negatives, I just pretend like I've overcome. Anyway, I'm talking about me too much. Let's move on. Let's move on. Yeah, Layla. Since Layla brought up one of her sons, uh, I was razzing the shit out of Drew. Because without doxing, well, see, I shouldn't even say this. So basically, at a certain point, there was a chance that Layla and Drew's one of their sons was going to have my birthday. So I was like, and apparently from memory, it was late, like it was taking its time. I said this kid's waiting around to come out on my birthday. I said this kid's going to be born on my birthday, which did not happen, by the way. But I know Drew. I know Drew was sweating. Please, Lord, don't let this kid be born on Benton's birthday. I'll never hear the end of it. But yeah, listen to this shit. Not only am I the only Leo in my family, other than my great grandmother who passed long ago, I'm the only sun sign. Of course, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm the only sun sign. Of course, I don't fit in with those bozos. They can't fucking handle me. I'm too much for them. Although I think my sister's an Aquarius, which is the compliment. I think she might have Leo rising, which is kind of the same thing. I talked about how the all of the recent presidents, except for Biden, either have Leo suns or Leo rising. I'm pretty sure my middle sister has Leo rising. It's kind of the same thing in a way, kind of sort of. But I'm the strongest willed of all, though, as the only person with a sun with a sun sign or a what am I saying? Fire sign. I meant fire sign when I said sun sign. I'm the only fire sign in the family, I should say. Yeah, the only fire sign. That's what I meant to say. Well, we peaked out at about 28 people, but then the astrology talk ran them off. Well, good. Fuck them. Fuck them. But yeah, Jessica, if you can find out your moon and your rising sign, that's a good place to start. It's a good place to start. Well, I think I'm about done. Feeling a little tired. That's right. Fuck them all day. Well, the ones that don't like astrology. Yeah. Anyway, the ones that left, the ones that are here, we love them. Good to see you, sir. What's your sign? Do you come here often? I'm joking. Anyway, nice to see you, sir. Um, I think I told the trucking stories. It's this constant battle. I'll go back to truck driving stories. What up? Oh yeah, Aries lady. Excellent. Yeah, man. Uh, I don't know any other Aries ladies in the so-called truth community. I do know EBT and OTW are both Aries, but yeah, Aries ladies. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Uh, anyway, I almost started talking about ex-wives, but let's not do that. There's no reason for that. Oh, I was talking about the presidents. All except Biden, all the recent presidents, Sun in Leo or Leo rising, and this JD Vance is Sun in Leo with Leo rising, the dreaded double Leo, which generally can confer like a very narcissistic person. Robin Quivers of Howard Stern show fame is infamously a double Leo, and she scored like Dr. Drew and some other guy went on the show one time and gave everybody a narcissism test. Yes, Howard scored fairly high, but not enough to be full blown NPD. But Robin was off the fucking charts and is angry about it to this day because she basically scored as high as possible on the narcissism test. Double Leos. Yeah. So JD Vance, look out if he becomes president. And Kamala also, I should have just went by the astrology to know Kamala wasn't going to be president. She also, and as well as Hillary, no Leo sun or Leo rising. Oh, really? Taurus moon and Leo or Sagittarius rising. Okay, fire and fire. Don't get in mindful exposure's way. She'll run your ass over, partner. Metaphorically, with a probably with a sweet smile on her face. You won't know what hit you, buddy. She gone. Am I right? I bet I am. Only when necessary, without any ill will. Only when you have. Anyway, uh, yeah, back to the truck driving. It's just like constant fucking battle between, I'm new. I need to show them that I'm worth, them and actually giving a fuck about me to some extent. Then it's like, they're giving me a line of bullshit for their own purposes. They know they're bullshitting me. I know they're bullshitting me. Now it's the poker game of do they know that I know that they know that I know, right? Well, of course it matters. Tunnel of Love. We're talking tropical, of course, but sidereal, if I'm saying that right, is certainly valid. My thing is, I had already studied enough of tropical before I even found out about sidereal or however you say that. And by then I was like, fuck it, I'm not starting over and learning all new shit. And we used to have on the old CBO Discord, we had an astrology expert, and he used to say that the grabblers rotated the wheel 13 degrees to intentionally grabble the astrology. So guess what? That'd make me a Cancer, which kind of makes more sense on some level. The comically excessive levels of excess emotionalism, especially for a fella who's otherwise comes across as masculine with high testosterone, at least until the last several years of chronic illnesses that have probably demoted me to a mere normal, healthy levels of testosterone instead of sky motherfucking high well into my 30s, late 30s. Yeah, that's right. The Midwest sweetness. Well, or if you were Southern with the, if you were a Southerner with the bless your heartedness, bless their heartedness, right? The condescending, well, bless your heart. Anyway, but yeah, if the grabblers actually rotated the wheel 13 degrees and thus grabbling the astrology, then turns out I'm a Cancer. Oh well, but I'll go ahead and claim Leo. Makes sense. So does Talcott. Talcott is a Leo. Makes a lot of sense. Rick says the older he gets, the faster he was. That's right, Rick. That's right. Don't ever forget how, yeah, I was back in the day, I gave him hell. Yeah, that's right. Cancer emotions, but Leo hair. That's right. That's right. I like that. But I shave my head too. It's either I grow it out or I shave my head. So maybe that's the Virgo. We'll just, that's our wealth. Yeah. Or I shave it. I haven't paid for a haircut in like 20 years, probably. But I don't know. He seemed to know what he was talking about with the grabbling of the wheel, the 13-degree rotation. But shout out to Miss Jessica Jane if you're still here. Good to see you. I don't get to powwow with Miss Jane. Well, with Jessica, I don't know. She might not like me calling her Miss Jane. Yeah, shave it, bro. I'll tell you, Rick. You know me, brother. There's a method to my madness. Uh, I've been toying with the idea of going to a trucking company that requires a hair follicle and I need to have you need to have a minimum of an inch and a half of hair. And since I did smoke some cannabis, I'm pretty sure it's been 90 days, but I probably need to give it another couple of months of growth. But at this point, and I only initially grew it out because of the winter, and I was being too much of a puss because I was cold. I didn't want my head to be cold, so I let my hair grow out. And then after that, I was like, fuck it. I might want to have the option to go into a mega carrier who's going to want a hair follicle me. Yeah, but the FMCSA only does the government only requires urine, but they keep talking about maybe doing hair. Oh, good. Thanks, Jay. I like Miss Jane personally. I like Miss Jane. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Jane. I like Miss Jane. Yeah. And I like getting to talk to the ladies from time to time. Every once in a while, I get to have a little back and forth in the physical, and I don't even need them to be as attractive as many of the ladies around these parts are. But you know, as a man, sometimes I like to have a little interaction of no strings attached, fully platonic, maybe a little bit of flirting, right? A little harmless flirting. That's part of being a fella. And I would like to think that the ladies enjoy it too. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, don't call her out of her name. I don't do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't do that. Yeah, I've been known to drop a C here and there, but it never hasn't been earned, and I don't know that Jessica would be capable of earning a C from me, but it's happened before. Hell, I hit my mom. I hit my mom with it one time. She earned it. Uh-oh, Rick. I can't go there. Can't go there, but can't do that one, sir. But more power to those who do. But I've vibrated up out of whatever that level is, but I'm still attempting to man of the people it and not lord it over everybody. That I feel like, and I'm joking to some extent. It's like I'm joking, not joking, because that's the leveling up. I've sort of vibrated out of that space, but sadly, I'm being spiritually attacked in my sleep at the level of sex dreams. So that's a bit disconcerting, but nothing. Well, let's not even get into specifics. But oh, I know you're joking, Rick. It's all good. You have the right to express yourself, sir. It's not for me to dictate uh, to people how to express themselves. At least not in that way. But yeah, good times. Um, and shout out to Layla for being here. I always like when Layla stops by. Tell Drew I said hi. I finally got to drop a dono on old Drew, but I wish I'd have just super chatted him. I did 50 of his 99-cent memberships. I gifted 50 subs on his stream, and I should have just super chatted him, but I'll get him again. He's been, even if he hadn't been, he's been quite generous to me over time in various ways. So always looking to pay it forward, right, as I sit forward. But yeah, Jessica, selfishly, I want to hear these any of the recovery stories, or just even if you ever like to vent in general, right? Like I love hearing about that stuff. Sometimes I find podcasts every once in a while where people talk about it's usually people who've been in recovery, but then a lot of times the people who work there, and I don't mean you, Jessica, but a lot of times people who work in recovery also, are in recovery or have been in recovery. So I've listened to at least a couple of podcasts about this Florida shuffle, Have you heard of the Florida Shuffle? Apparently, they put Bam Margera through this, but part of it is in Florida, and I'm sure other states too. But apparently, Florida recovery centers have become quite adept, uh, have been quite adept at um, sort of maximizing people's insurance. People who have good insurance by you know, shuffling them from recovery to recovery to recovery to recovery, sometimes even possibly against their will to some extent through, it's not the Baker Act in Florida, is it? Whatever they have, maybe it is the Baker Act, whatever it is they have in Florida for a temporary committal for a psych eval, right? The whatever their version of the 5150 is. I think it is the Baker Act. And that's all been fascinating, as especially some of these people telling their stories of, you know, having jobs and being like functioning addicts, and then, meeting somebody who, so there's people who like earn their living by convincing addicts to go to treatment. These like headhunters, they get paid a fucking fee for signing people up for which is, I'm not even saying it's America. Everything's a business, right? Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, yeah, maybe we can schedule something. Jessica expressing a desire to share her her experiences. I might have to actually. I should probably prepare and maybe take some notes, and maybe when if I ever get back to my computer, right? But might not want to do that from the truck. But either way, that could be fun and instructive. But so in these stories I've listened to, it's a lot of times it's a couple also, because the headhunter is like, hey, 2 for 1. And again, everything in America is a business, even recovery, right? And even headhunting for people to go off to recovery. So, these people have a job and an apartment and they're barely keeping their shit together, functioning addicts, usually it's the girl is the gal is, she's holding down the job. And then the man is like involved in various forms of hustling and criminality while, occasionally holding down a job for weeks at a time. That's what I'm seeing out here. That's why I can't blame the women for everything while just giving the men a free pass, or the males, right? Oh, is it a 5150 in Cali? So yeah, that's what I thought. Giving a free pass to the fellas, right? I can't do that just because we share the same equipment. Well, because we have equipment in common. Anyway, 4.5 years, no booze. Excellent. Pills or drugs. I love that, Jessica. Congratulations. Well done. Well done. Whatever you're doing must be working. And I never look down on people. Now, I have specific opinions on psych meds, but that's I speak of it in a different way. I don't think you've heard me denigrate drug addicts much. And I'm not calling you that. I'm saying that in all of my years of homelessness, I've spent a lot of time up close and personal with drug addicts, and, you know, um, definitely have a lot of compassion. And while, again, I'm not willing to co-sign their bullshit either, they know they're choosing to do what they're doing, right? But it's all a choice. We can call it a disease till the cows come home, but yeah, there are elements of that certainly, but it's still a choice. Now, I myself have been powerless over my drinking, but I was choosing to be powerless. But again, these are my opinions. Please, not by way of offending anybody. I'm stating my opinions as if they are concrete facts, when that's not the case. These are my opinions, and we all know what those are worth. But anyway, that's awesome. So let me not open mouth and insert foot yet again. But I love this one podcast where this lady was telling her stories of, her and the boyfriend, and now they're in rehab, and now, they're leaving the rehab because this is bullshit or whatever. But then, they're in touch with the headhunter, or that facility's shuffling them off to another facility. And then the original facility, they all have agreements with each other. So it's all like finder's fees and, a wink and a nod, pass them off to somebody else. Right. And then part of this, listen to this, Jessica, you may not be aware of this. Maybe you are. So some of this is that the rehabs themselves are stringing these addicts out on all kinds of psych meds. And then because they're billing insurance, number one, they're billing insurance for the psych meds. And then when they shuffle them off to the next chain in the next link in the chain, because of what they're prescribed, now that enables the next place to bill even more to get them off of what they're on now, the benzos or whatever. Now we got to detox them off the benzos or whatever the fuck they got them on. The shit is crazy, man. The shit is crazy. The shit is bananas. Bananas. The shit is bananas. Do love me some Gwen Stefani, I must say. Noted Libra, if I remember correctly. I think. Sometimes I think I know signs and I'm wrong. Well, good. Oh, really? That's interesting. Yeah, the THC gummies. Well, and I'm on record. Jessica says no worries. She's an addict in recovery for sure. Thankfully, never had to take psych meds. Been known to eat a THC gummy now and then. And I've been on record for a long time now that CBD's bullshit in the way that a lot of people, especially where I'm from in the South, the only real reason they're going to the CBD, which does have its place, I agree that CBD has its place, but it's because of the THC is considered immoral culturally, right? My contention is that the major therapeutic benefit of the cannabis flower and the cannabis plant is the frickin' THC. That's the main therapeutic benefit, in my view. And what is arguably the most potent form, arguably, for curing what ails the body is Rick Simpson oil, which is a full extract of the flower, right? Rick Simpson oil. And when asked what kind of flower to get, Rick said, get the highest THC flower you can find. He didn't say nothing about CBD. He didn't say nothing about my pain relief. You know what relieves the fuck out of your pain? THC. That is all. Yeah, what a mess in Florida. I don't like Florida. At the risk of offending Layla. Not a fan. Not a fan. I do get a kick out of thinking of Drew World Order in Jacksonville, though. Ghetto fabulous in it up. I get a kick out of that. Chucky in the house. 20 years of pills, weed drinking. Moderation is key. Stop blaming booze and drugs for your compulsive dysfunctional behavior. The problem is between your ears. Well, I tend to agree, Chucky, but uh, I'll say that by way of not in any way discounting folks like Jessica who uh, you know work in a program and it works for her, and I myself am the veteran of many AA meetings. Certainly, never worked at 12 steps. Never found it necessary. I've always been able to quit for whatever reason. I think just I'm a weirdo. I'm unusual in that I can just make myself do some shit for some reason. Now, part of that was I could make myself drink 15 or more drinks a day for months on end while knowing that my body can't handle it. My organs can't fucking deal with that level of booze on a daily basis. I was always a binge drinker back in the day, right? I was always a binge drinker from like time to time, you know. And then sometimes more often, sometimes less often, but binge drinker. I was always drinking to get fucked up. What's up, 5 Speed? So, yeah, everything in moderation, even moderation, right? But, the crazy thing about my drinking is I've always been able to have 1 or 2 beers and stop. I've never not been able to do that. My thing is, if I have 5, I might have 20, not beers, but if I have 5 drinks, 3 out of 4 times I can stop at 5. 1 out of 4 times I'm just going to keep drinking. And that's all there fucking is to it. And can't nobody stop me, including me, right? My give a fuck is gone. So the thing is, man, historically, I don't like a 1 or 2 beer buzz. But I found in drinking a 22-ounce Guinness here and there, since I have detoxed my organs in the last several years and all of this, but yes, and real quick before I forget, what Chucky's talking about here ultimately is to it's a refusal to be a victim, and it's ultimately personal power. It's to tap into one's own power and say, I'm the one that chose to get drunk. I'm the one that chose to do all those substances, and by God, I can choose to not do those substances. Right now, some people do legitimately need help, and that's fine. They can choose to go get the help. Right. I myself have chosen forms of getting help at times. So both are valid in my view. But so back to the after the detox and all of this, and with my cleaned up diet, I found that I do enjoy a 22-ounce Guinness extra stout from time to time. Yes, I do. And if it wasn't so late in the day, I don't know, I might wander into the truck stop. I'm almost certain they sell beer in there. But why? And here's been my approach to drinking is when I have a thought of having a beer late in the last several months, I do a check with myself and I say, yeah, I could, but then I start thinking about where am I at in my diet. It is hard on my body, so like I don't want to eat a high fat meal and then drink alcohol because you know, uh, or just a meal in general, depending on what I've eaten, right? So then it's like, and I don't want to have alcohol close to bedtime. So a lot of times what I do is I think about it and I'm like, yeah, not today, maybe another day. And then every once in a while, it's like, yeah, this is the right time. And I have it fucking, if I can find a 22-ounce Guinness, I have a 22-ounce Guinness. And the other day, I went into the Walmart and it was the right time. But I looked at the beer they had and I said, I don't want any of those tall cans, 24 ounces. And I'm going to skip it. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. What about those little boxes of wine, which is 2 glasses of wine? It's 10 ounces of wine, 2 glasses of wine. And I couldn't find them. And I'd already been in there doing all my shopping. I said, fuck it. Who cares? I'm out of here. Oh, good. I'm glad. I can't. Jessica is unoffendable. Fantastic. Yeah, I love it. Because what Chucky said definitely speaks to my internal space because I won't delude myself. Like, even as I was in the motel going glug, 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 I was not lying to myself about what I was doing. There was no delusion. There was no anything other than I'm doing this to cope with the things I don't want to face right now, while simultaneously harming my health. But what was crazy is I felt great physically. My mind was sharp as a tack, and this was not me coping. I was online doing content, sharp as a motherfucking tack, working 16 hours a day, drinking at least 15 drinks a day. And a lot of people don't believe me. I was not driving my big rig drunk. There was no drinking and driving. I was leaving work and knew I was already on the clock. We weren't on logs because I was working agricultural, but I knew I wanted to go start my day about midnight or 1 a.m. I'm leaving work at 2 p.m. or whatever. I know I got to start pounding beers so I can sober up enough to fucking get a good night's sleep, because you don't get restful sleep when you're hammered when you go to bed. So people used to be like, how can you drink in the morning? I said, it's the only way I can get drunk enough to fucking sober up enough to get a good night's sleep, right? So because of my work hours, here I am slamming beers on the drive back to the motel. Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but I did it. Slamming fucking beers on the 30-minute, the 20-minute ride to the fucking crib, so I can keep drinking. Shit was crazy, man. Complete fucking insanity. At a certain point, I called my mom when we were still getting along, and I was like, I said, I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm working 16 to 18 hours a day and just getting fucking drunk as Cooter fucking Brown. Barely having time to get close enough to a 0.0 to fucking roll out of the yard. I've got so drunk on my 10-hour break before that one day my hours reset and I'm on the BAC calculator. I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm on the BAC calculator, putting in my weight and how many drinks I had and did I eat a meal. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta wait 2 goddamn hours. I'm walking laps around the fucking truck stop for 2 hours so I can start my shift. Thankfully, I was still able to make the delivery. I woke up, I was still fucking drunk. I said, good Lord, this is crazy. What am I doing? But I knew what I was doing. See, we fool ourselves, but we really don't. We think we're fooling ourselves. We don't pull the wool over our own eyes. We pretend to, right? We pretend to we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. Anyway, I got to get out of here. Well, I don't have to. Appreciate y'all listening to my foolishness. I probably could rant and rave about truck driving a little more, but I keep diverting myself. So I'm out. Appreciate y'all riding shotgun. We'll end on Chucky's comment. Exactly. Get busy, get your game on, and enjoy your life. Seriously. Pills and booze are going to control you. Give me a break. Sort out your priorities. Yeah, just do the damn thing. Or, I'll go ahead and say this, Chucky. I'm not gone yet. I'll say this, Chucky. Or don't ever be in that middle space where the person continues to do the substances. And I don't like this expression, but where the person is letting the substances do them, right? I hate that expression, but it is appropriate some of the time. I just don't like it. It's always kind of made my skin crawl. But so what I've seen is a lot of people will sort of try to ride the middle, they'll try to ride the fence and be whining and crying about how they're not able to get off the substances when clearly they don't want to get off the fucking substances. Just put your big boy pants on or your big girl pants on and say, yeah, I'm getting fucked up for this time in my life. I know it's bad. I know it's holding me back. I know I'm destroying myself, and I'm going to keep doing it until I'm ready to fucking stop. That's at least honest. That's better than that middle ground bullshit people try to, oh, woe is me. When I lost my job and fucking this happened and then this person died. Who cares? Suck it the fuck up. Everybody's got trials and tribulations. We all have circumstances in life. Guess what? If these circumstances did not exist, you know what you would have? Different circumstances. That's it. People fantasize and think, wow, guess how wonderful my life will be when I resolve the present set of circumstances. No, that's wrong. You're just going to have different circumstances. When these circumstances get resolved, they go this way. Like, one of those things you look through, those viewfinder toys, and then you pull the little deal and it advances the fucking to the next slide, whatever the fuck that's called. When we resolve the present circumstances, that thing slides and it fucking puts a new circumstances in front of you. That's it. That's all that happens. What is this? Thank you, Truman Matrix. Much appreciated. Right? So yeah, just get fucked up then. Who cares? I don't care. Just quit pretending like you're doing everything you can, and it's just like, oh my God, I stepped on my dick again, and now I'm drunk and lost my job again. I went and supplicated myself and did a fucking monkey dance and shucked and jived and danced a jig, and these people hired me, and then I got drunk and fucked it off again. No, just be honest and say, yeah, I'm a fuck up. I'm getting drunk. And yeah, I'll come down here and do some work, and I'll probably be half lit if I show up at all. That's at least honest. That's at least honest. Yes, that's right. The Viewmaster, Kyle. That's at least honest. That is respectable. What's not respectable is the fucking pity party telling everybody the sob story, knowing you're going to go pick up tonight, knowing you're going to continue doing the substances. It's fucking bullshit. Just own it. Own it. Own it. And then when it's time, knock it the fuck off. And if you got to go to the meeting, go to the fucking meeting. If you got to go to recovery, go to recovery. If you got to go to, hell, I had to go to detox. My version of detox was I drove my happy ass to Colorado, still drinking, by the way, drove my happy ass to Colorado and stocked up on THC products, drove my happy ass back to Arkansas. And I had 3 weeks of nightmare withdrawals. Didn't eat for 12 days of that. And I thought I bought enough THC products. The shit only lasted a week and a half. Had to go back to Colorado for more products because I knew from experience that I could use high doses of THC. This is not medical advice. Do not do this. But I have such experience with high levels of THC. I'm such an experienced user. I knew I could just put THC into my body all day, every day for weeks on end and be just fine. Some people go psychotic, by the way. Bentonics, that's right. Hooked on Bentonics worked for me, John Wayne. I think I'm done. I think I'm even done with cannabis, John Wayne. And I might have a beer here and there, maybe, or maybe not. Yeah, I'm going to unblock. I already agreed to unblock Truth or Cop, Jessica. Just for you, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to end the stream because I agree. I told him I was going to, and then I didn't because I dislike. I dislike using. I'm so spoiled with the computer that I hate moderating my channel on the phone. It's a pain in the ass, but just for you, doing that now, and we're going to see how ridiculous this is going to be because it's going to take me forever. But I will see. I have to pull up the web browser. See, I'm going to bitch about it. I'll do it, but I'm going to complain. I got to go to studio.youtube.com, and usually I forget how to do this, but and then it tries to make you go to the app, but you can't do it from the app. So it says continue to studio. You got to do it from the desktop version, the desktop browser. And now everything's tiny and I can't see it. So now we got to zoom in and we click on all the way at the bottom. So they make this very difficult to find. All the way at the bottom is the little gear, community moderation. And oh, wait a minute. All right. Truth or Cop official is now about to. When I hit save, he'll be unbanned. But let's read the ban list. I'll just read the ones y'all probably know. Nub's Revenge, Mr. Pie. I'm actually going to unban. I'm going to unban somebody else. The Tribe, DeFreak. All right, we'll give DeFreak another chance. He'll get banned again though. Uh, one of JG's. Uh, Joe Cool. Uh, Praxis. Golden Renaissance Productions will unban him. Bushwhacking History and Buffalo will never be unbanned. Although every time I say never, I end up doing that. RT is not going to be unbanned. I will unban JG, his main account. Actually, not that many people are banned right now. All right, I believe he's unbanned unless I misclicked, but I'm pretty sure he's unbanned. I'll double check for Jessica. How about that? We'll double checking. Double checking. I'm pretty sure he's unbanned. I'm almost certain he's unbanned. All right. Uh-oh. I accidentally cleared the ban list. All right, cancel. All right, let's not do that. Okay, yes, discard changes. Are you mad? What does BANNED on Tinder mean? When you're banded and you know you're a man. All but one man died. They're at Bitter Creek. And they say he ran away. Banded, marked for the coward shame. What do you do when you're banded? And something about, and you fight for your name. Oh, man. I don't even know. I used to have that shit memorized. All right. We are leaving on this. Now I got to hear this. Although we probably won't leave. I'll probably just yerk the stream all night long. Hell, I got time. Fuck it. What else do I have to do? He's yerk. He's yerk. He's yerk. He's in my head. No, 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 no. He yerked. He's yerked. He's yerked. My belief is dead. According to him. I'll work on it. But yeah, branded theme song. All right. Well, anyway, I don't know if y'all can hear this. Hopefully you can. Oh, I love me some branded. Chuck Connors, baby. Reruns. Gen X saw everything on reruns, Rick. I have no idea if you guys can hear this. They're at Bitter Creek, and they say he ran away. Marked with the coward shame. When you're branded, when you fight for your name. You're a man. Well, anyway, good stuff. Good stuff. Noise canceling is too good. Oh, damn it. That's a bummer. Yeah, it was a great show. Well, shit. Yeah, the noise canceling got it. Anyway, go to YouTube if anybody cares. Branded TV theme song. Yeah, I was a big Rifleman fan. Chuck Connors in the Rifleman. So I never really watched Branded, but I'm at least aware of it because of Chuck Connors. And then if anybody remembers the movie The Big Lebowski, when they went to that guy's house and he was in the iron lung, and then they ended up destroying the wrong car. And it was like that little kid, Donnie had the homework or whatever that kid's name was. It wasn't Donnie. It was, anyway, if anybody remembers the iron lung scene from The Big Lebowski, apparently the guy in the iron lung had written like most of the episodes of Brandon. That was in the plot of The Big Lebowski. So Walter Sobchak was all like deferential, and was fangirling it out, fanboying it up, and the guy was in an iron lung. He was treating the fellow in the iron lung with due deference, all due deference. Wild Wild West. Yeah. Anyway, we're out. I gotta go. I really mean it this time. Thanks for watching. Bye.